Madam Speaker, I'm honored and humbled to be representing the people of Markham-Unionville. They have entrusted me to be their representative and to speak up for issues that are important to them. I have promised to listen, understand, consult, and advocate for them in the House of Commons. I sincerely appreciate and respect their support for me to be their representative. I would like to thank my community, my campaign team, and especially my family, my wife Anna, my son Aaron and his wife Tiffany, and my daughters Samantha and Andrea. It was with their love and support that have given me energy and strength to succeed in my campaign. My family, together with my campaign team, have worked tirelessly to knock on doors in sunny, rainy, snowy, and windy conditions. I deeply appreciate all their dedication and support. As the voice of Markham-Unionville, let me paint you a brief picture of my community based on an event I attended just this past weekend in my riding. I gave a closing speech for the 2025 National Accessibility Week hosted by the North Star Special Needs Society. The initiative was designed both to reduce stigma and raise awareness about disability within Asian Canadian communities. At its root, the event was about creating new narratives for Asian Canadians in the face of long-standing cultural norms, especially around disability. Madam Speaker, I was the chair of a mental health foundation, and I know that stigma in all societies in general is still very strong, especially in the Asian Canadian communities. What we see in Markham-Unionville is an immigrant community that is forging a new identity in our vibrant Canadian mosaic. Moreover, Markham-Unionville embodies the upwardly mobile middle-class Canadian dream that all immigrant communities aspire towards. It is a riding that has maintained a balance between industry, farmland, and urban life. We have industry in the form of both locally grown talent, like Novo Plastics, and internationally recognized giants like Honda Canada. Markham-Unionville in the north is filled with serene farmlands, while in the south is a bustling urban environment. Our commercial districts are filled with multi-generational small businesses like Lucas Bakery and Kanji Queen. Altogether, Markham-Unionville is the postcard city for the Canadian dream with an enviable quality of life. Madam Speaker, let's take a quick moment to define what the Canadian dream is. It's as simple as owning a house on a safe street where children can play at ease, where seniors can go for a carefree walk, and where cars don't go missing in the night. It is shocking to hear all the car thefts emerging in my community. This is a canary in the coal mine. The Canadian dream is faltering and has been for quite some time. The fabric of our mosaic is coming undone at the seams. As members of the official opposition, it is not merely our duty to hold the government to account for the agenda that it outlined last week. We are not merely here as policy critics, but as a fellow pillar of governance. We provide hopes to Canadians that things can and will get better. Madam Speaker, the Conservative priority for this session of Parliament is a Canada that is affordable, safe, self-reliant, and united. Further, when I campaigned to my community in Markham-Unionville, I repeated two core promises. One, we will restore safety on our streets by repealing liberal laws and locking up repeat offenders. And two, we will bring down the cost of living with a budget that cuts spending, taxes, and inflation. Madam Speaker, I had the pleasure of reading the Prime Minister's mandate letter before hearing the throne speech last week. If I didn't know they were put together by the Liberals, I would have mistaken them for something produced by a center-right party of the last few decades. Thus, one fact is clear to me for this session of Parliament. We are focused on priorities that have universally been championed by Conservatives for decades upon decades. Safe communities with an affordable quality life is the singular battle cry for conservatives everywhere. Madam Speaker, the Liberals are uniquely ill-equipped to truly deliver on community safety file, not because of ability, but because of contradictions inherent in the coalition that forms their support base. A safe community requires that we solve both the crime and drug issues while simultaneously with overwhelmed healthcare, housing, job markets, and immigration levels. Crime, drugs, and an overwhelmed social infrastructure are all intertwined in fostering unsafe communities. In juggling all these competing priorities, some will fall by the wayside explicitly because the coalition that forms the Liberal support base will not allow the Liberals to turn 180 degrees on all their prior commitments. The Liberal prior commitment on crime is expressed in Bill C-75, the Catch and Release Bill. It allows repeat offenders to be released on bail within hours of arrest, who then often go and promptly re-offend. Only by repealing these Liberal commitments can judges have the freedom to allow minimum sentencing. I was discussing this issue with the Deputy Chief of Police of our great York Regional Police. We have discussed that the police force is discouraged that criminals are released before the paperwork is done. Madam Speaker, our frontline police force and their families are fearful every day with these repeat dangerous criminals free on the streets. The throne speech commitment to increasing the RCMP force neither goes far enough, nor should it be the only focus.